This podcast is being recorded and produced on Gadigal land.
We pay our respects to the traditional custodians of this country and elders past present.
We extend our respect to any First Nations, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people joining us today.
Always was, always will be Aboriginal land.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Do it start again.
We weren't recording. Oh, well, let's just start it now. We already said it all.
We just said the whole intro and she wasn't even fucking recording.
Our producer
Warning
forgot to hit
letter
record.
to Hannah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Fired.
welcome to Close Friends.
Sorry, chaos in the studio this morning. Yeah, so I'm Brittney Saunders. I'm all right. Hey, you made your way into your close friends list. You've got the juiciest story on your main story. Keep it for your close friends. Here we go. You've got a story for us today. I'm very intrigued. All you've given me is that you've got a nightmare neighbour
Look, I
story.
I don't want to start drama with my neighbours. Look, I don't think they know... I don't think they know me or follow me on social media or anything. Okay, so we live in a house. We've got neighbours on either side.
That's usually how it works.
Yeah. Well, I could be on a corner.
True. You'd still have neighbours on either side though, right?
Pardon?
You'd still have neighbours on either side.
Yeah,
They'd just be around the corner.
Yeah. So on one side, we have our nice neighbours, old couple,
Gorgeous.
70s or 80s.
Yeah.
And we're like friends with them. We know them by name. We say hello. They're going to come look at our house once it's done.
Nice.
Because that nice neighbour, he originally built our house.
Oh.
Because they're two houses that are side by side. They're almost identical.
Nice.
So he built both. So it's really cute. We're fully ripping his house to shreds that he built like fucking 70 years ago.
And is his exactly the same?
Same house?
Same house, yeah.
Yeah, they're really similar. But
Yeah.
we're like...
But like his is still in the condition
original,
he built
yeah,
it.
and
Oh my
we're
God,
adding
it'd
this
be
big-
breaking his heart.
I know,
the
we're
poor
adding
thing.
this big modern extension on the back. But
Imagine having a whole life and you've lived all through all the trauma of your entire life, and then one of your most proudest creations, this bitch comes in and goes, nah, this is ugly, I'm going to tear it up.
Hey, in my defense, so it's like a 1920s cavity brick home. Like it's an old-fashioned home. We're keeping a lot of the character and just adding like this modern extension on the back.
Mm-hmm.
So they can see into our backyard and they can see all the renos that are happening in the backyard. Right now, my backyard is like a construction zone. The whole back of the house is ripped off. And so when you... Like, I'm only learning all this now because this is my first time renovating a house. But when you are doing any major renos to your house, you have to put everything through the council.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just like fucking renovate. Like you've got to get council approval to do things to your house, down to the fucking amount of gardens that you have to have in.
Inside, or does it include out inside or
I'm not
just
exactly
outside?
sure. I think it's any major works.
Wow.
And like we're putting a plunge pool in and it's just been mind-blowing the amount of shit like admin that you have to do. Because you have to give the plans to the council. They have to approve it. They have to have someone come out and test the soil to make sure that it can like hold a pool, and then you got to get the concrete tested, like all this shit, right? And they even like, we got knocked back at one point because there wasn't enough greenery on our drawings. So like you've got to like, if you're renovating your backyard, it's got to have like this standard of how many shrubs you have and how many trees and plants. I don't know, it's this whole fucking thing. Anyway, we found out the other day, and I didn't know this either, but when you are going to be doing like work in your yard or on a deck or out the back where it's going to be making a significant amount of noise for a certain period of time over however many weeks, both of your neighbours get a letter to say that, you know, this neighbour at this address is going to be doing works, and they can say that they don't want it to happen. So it's like a vote. And we found this out through our nice neighbour, right? So our nice neighbour spoke to AJ and said, we got a letter and the other neighbours on the other side got a letter. And the neighbours on the other side went to our nice neighbour and said, how do we stop this from happening?
Oh.
They did not want us to renovate our house.
What?
Yeah. Mind you, like we have never interacted with the other neighbour. They're renting their house on the other side of us. We've never had any interaction.
They don't even own the house. They're just
No.
renting.
Yeah.
Oh, shove it up, yeah.
And so the only interactions that we've had with them is when we first moved in. They've got some trees like we've got trees in the front yard and they both kind of overlap into each other's front yards. And apparently the guy that used to live in our house used to trim them for the next door neighbor kind of thing. And so when we very first moved in, apparently like it's like a couple and a kid, like a adult kid living next door. Apparently she said to AJ out the front, oh, fuck, I hope she's not listening to this. She wouldn't
cares,
be.
Though? I'd go and knock on their door and say, let's have a conversation about this,
Well,
my darling.
the thing is, we've never had a conversation with them. We never see them. But when we first moved in, she said he used to trim that tree. Are you going to be the one trimming that tree?
Oh,
like,
what a bitch.
Yeah.
Let me over there. I'm coming up, darling. I'll go knock on the door.
And so,
I feel I've been a bit angry lately, so I'm ready to unleash. So you just let me know what you want me to say, and I'll knock on that door.
And so Neil, that's our nice neighbour. Yeah, he told AJ the other neighbour didn't want us to be allowed to renovate our house because they didn't want the noise of like hammering and stuff. But it's like, this is what happens sometimes when you have a house that's next to another house.
Yeah.
There might be renovations at some stage, and it's not forever. It's just for like a couple of months and then it's done.
Yeah.
Anyway, by the time he went to the neighbour's house to say, let's try and stop this from happening, it was already too late because like the neighbours have like a certain amount of time to like say no kind of thing. And apparently Neil was just like, what the fuck? Like, no, they're allowed to renovate their house. And so the renovations have started and he's already been making complaints over the fence to the builders saying like, can you keep the noise down? It's like, we're renovating a house. What, you want me to get a silent fucking hammer?
I'm speechless.
Like, that's just life. Like, sometimes people are going to make noise.
Yeah.
Go and live on a farm on an acreage.
I'm with you on this. I'm with you.
Go and live on a farm on an
Sorry.
acreage if you don't want your neighbour to maybe fucking renovate their house. And, like, it's just for now. It's not going to be forever. And apparently he's, like, said to the tradies over the fence, like, can you keep it down? Apparently the tradies are like, fuck off.
Yeah, good.
Because they're just doing their job.
Give them back the same energy. This is what I was saying in the main episode. You know, give them back the same energy.
So yeah, our neighbours don't like us,
Oh.
and we've never had any interactions with them. I'm like, what did we do?
But you see, you're better than I am because I will have an interaction with you, darling. I'm coming over and saying, what's the problem? Can you stop harassing my workmen in the backyard because you harass them every day and I'm going to call the police if you keep harassing my... Fucking just step it up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going over there. I can't control myself. Like, if that's how you want to act, I'm actually going to double down.
I know, but I don't want to go there because then they'll know that Neil told us about the letter, and then poor Neil.
No, but they've taken you... He's now yelling at your people in the backyard. So that's what you're there for.
I've just never had any troubles with neighbours. So now I'm like, oh, fuck. Might see him out front and like look the other way.
No, I've
They're a
never
little
had
bit
any
scary.
either. We've only ever had nice neighbours or not known our neighbours.
Well,
I actually prefer not knowing our neighbours. I have lived in apartments the last few years, so it's a bit different because everyone sort of keeps to themselves.
It's actually got me thinking about neighbours because I think, like you said, like you're in an apartment, so it's different. But my memories from childhood and like neighbours is so different to now. And I know it would be different, like depending on your street and where you live. But I'll tell you what my dream is. My dream is to have really nice neighbours that we become friends with, and then we have barbecues.
Yeah.
Like, I would love that. And I remember when we were kids growing up, we were friends with neighbours on both of our sides, and there was all kids. Like, it's probably different when you have kids and you're living near other kids. And it would just always be like running back and forth between the two backyards. Our parents would get pissed together, have barbecues, and you made genuine friends with your neighbours. And then sometimes we'd live in like a cul-de-sac, and then the whole cul-de-sac was friends. And I feel like that's not a thing anymore. Maybe it is in different areas, but now I feel like everyone really just keeps to themselves and you don't really know your neighbours that much. Whereas I'm putting it out there. Someone move in next door in the house that doesn't like me. We'll get them evicted. Someone apply and live next door. Become besties with AJ and I. You can come over and swim in our plunge pool and have a barbecue on our back deck.
Yeah, nice.
I'm taking applications.
See, I'm the opposite to you. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. Don't do what you want. I won't complain about your renovations, but I don't want to know
It
your
would
life
just be
story.
so good though. Like come home from work and then just you see your neighbour over the fence. Like, you want to come over for a wine, and they just come over and you just whinge about life. That's a dream for me.
Can't imagine anything worse, actually. No, in a house, because in an apartment I actually quite like.
Yeah.
When I move into an apartment, I quite like that I know no one's coming over with a fucking gift basket with fruits and muffins in
See, I
it saying,
like it
welcome
for
to
a
the
house.
neighbourhood.
For a
Nah.
house, it's perfect.
Don't knock on my door. Stay away. I don't think we need to be such good friends because we know each other. But then, on the other half, you want them to look out for you, don't you? You want your neighbours to be your friends. So they go, hey, there's a suspicious car parked out the front the other day.
Yeah.
You know anything about that? And I'll go, oh, yeah, Dylan. It's just...
I love Neighbours.
I love Neighbours too. But I don't need to be your best friend and I don't need to be cooking you sausages in my backyard.
I want Neighbours' best friends.
Okay, fair enough. I feel like you need to live in a cul-de-sac.
I feel like I need to
feel-
live in like a estate, like, you know, houses that are estates. I feel like that's where neighbours friendships happen.
Oh, you reckon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whereas we're just in a random suburb.
I'm thinking cul-de-sac vibes is nice. Very
In an
Desperate
estate.
Housewives,
Yeah.
you know. Very Neighbours in itself, the
Yeah.
TV show.
Maybe I need to move. After we finish renovating, just move straight
Oh,
away.
see, I don't understand that either. I mean, are you
What?
planning to flip the house? Because I just don't... Imagine going through all that fucking renovation.
Oh.
You've pissed off your neighbours in the process. You've got...
I'm not moving. We're going to enjoy the fuck out of this
okay,
house.
good. I'm
Yeah,
like,
we're not
can't
flipping
imagine.
it and selling it. We're renovating it for our own enjoyment.
Okay, can't imagine going through renovating the
No.
whole house and then going, all right, we'll go live in an estate now.
For a cul-de-sac experience.
Little cookie cutter house.
Does anyone live in a cul-de-sac that has a spare house? Let me know. I'm coming to move in so we can be
And
friends.
also, if you live in a cul-de-sac, email us and tell us whether you've got
Yes.
neighbours, if it's a nice community in your cul-de-sac. And also, if you've got any neighbour horror
Stories.
stories, email us as well. The email's in the show notes.
I went to school with this, went to primary school with a girl, and I've still got her on Facebook. Like, you know, you just have your primary school friends on Facebook. And where her mum and dad live, the house she grew up in, the mum and dad still live there. She's moved out and whatever. But they've had beef with their neighbours since childhood. And I see her post updates on Facebook all the time. And it's literally gotten to the point where they've gone to court and everything.
Oh, my God.
Because the neighbours have like tried to sabotage them that badly. So there's some fucking terrible neighbours out there.
know. I've been following one on TikTok at the moment of a neighbour feud. I don't know where. I think it's in Sydney somewhere. And anyway, one of them has just shat in the mailbox. Yes, one of the neighbours has just shat in the other one's mailbox, which is gorgeous, lovely, you know. So that when she's gone to get her mail, she's put her hand in the
Nah,
mailbox.
that's
and
fucked.
there's shit, human.
Also, can we get
feces.
rid of mail? I fucking can't stand it. Like,
You
who's-
reckon?
Who sends letters anymore? Just make it all in an email.
I quite like it. I
Get
just got,
rid.
I don't get many letters. The last letter I got was last week. It's for my car registration. $900 and something. God, that's jumped up. Cost of living.
The
Fucking
only
hell.
letters I fucking get is fines from parking outside here at Nova.
Oh, yeah, true. Well, I've shown you the 6-hour parking
Yeah,
now,
well,
so you're
look,
all
in the
sorted.
last year of us doing this, I've only gotten 2. So I feel like that's all right because it's 2-hour parking.
Yes.
And then we're always here for like 3 hours. But I pay for the 2 and hope that no one comes in the last hour.
Whereas I make us stop recording and go down because some of us don't have money to burn. So I run
Look,
down
a
and
year of
go, top
parking
up my
here-
parking.
A year of parking here every week, getting 2 fines is not bad. But now Matt's found a little sneaky 6-hour area and we're parking
Which
there.
is unheard of in Sydney. What's
Yeah.
going on? 6-hour parking.
But I've got a complaint to make about that as well.
Why?
When you go to pay, you know how you click the P because you're parking?
yeah.
Then it automatically goes to 6 hours and that's $37 or something. Then you have to go beep, beep, beep,
And bring it
beep,
down
beep,
10-minute
beep,
increments,
beep,
yeah.
beep. No, it's like 4-minute fucking increments. It takes like 6 minutes to get it back down to like 3 hours. I want to make a complaint to the Council of Sydney. Make it so you can just, like, why does it go to the highest payment?
Well, you know what I found really strange is a lot of the councils in the Sydney area now do, which I'm so sorry to everyone internationally, but this is very niche, but you've got your parking meters like that one where you've got to do it all manually, but I have found that all of the other surrounding councils now have either this app called Easy Park where
Yes.
you just top it up
We've
as
got
you
that in
So if
Newcastle.
you're like in a restaurant, you can go, oh, my parking's run out, I'll just quickly top it up. And you pay for
Yes.
more parking on your phone without having to leave like the restaurant or whatever you're doing. And then on top of that, there's other ones where you just put your number plate in and that's how you pay. And there's no, it's
so
ticketless.
much easier on the phone.
City of Sydney, like
Get
the
with it.
Sydney Council
Get with it.
has the oldest, most geriatric parking meters I've ever seen in my life that you can never see the bloody screen. I've got no idea what I'm pressing. I just press boop, 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 boop and
Next
print the
minute,
ticket and hope for the
$40
best.
to park in fucking Sydney.
Honestly. But 6-hour parking is unheard of. Anyway, I think we should wrap this up because we are talking about parking meters.
Yeah.
And I just feel like it's not really riveting content for the scrollers, is it? But anyway, this is Close Friends. We talk about all the stuff we don't want to put in our main episode. So, my voice is going. Must be that glass back in the back of my throat. Anything else you want to say today, Brittney? What are you doing on your phone? Get off your phone.
I've got people fucking messaging me left and right.
Oh my God. See, this is the commitment that I give to this podcast. My phone, I'll just let you know, strollers, on Do Not Disturb.
Excuse me, I have 60 employees.
Okay. Well, hire someone to look after them while
I'm podcasting,
while
all right?
you're
There's a
podcasting.
job now available at Fate. 1 day a week, Mondays for 4 hours, where you respond to everyone while I record.
Hang on a second, I might take that job. I need a bit of extra cash. We'll see you on Tuesday, scrollers. Thanks for listening.